Hey, good morning, everybody, and welcome to Bull City Hangout 7-5. I'm Pat Murray. I publish the Durham Skywriter. That's Durham's online community paper, which you can check out in its entirety at durhamskywriter.com. Now, it's Bull City Hangout. I tell you what's happening this weekend in Durham, and I invite you to click on that link on the Durham Skywriter Facebook page if you'd like to join me on camera to shoot the breeze, say hello, promote yourself. All that would be super great. It would also be super great if you could share this out so that more people here in Durham can find out what is happening. So usually, with it being Saturday, I only read from the Let's Go calendar of events page. But there's something I need to point out real quick. Oh, look who's here. Boy, coming in hot. William M. Andrews is saying, "Good morning, Bull City." Indeed. Old School Dave is saying, "Good morning, buddy." Good morning, Dave. And then William M. Andrews says his quintessential, if that's the right word, phrase, "It's a beautiful day in the Bull City." And it is indeed. Very happy to have you guys here. I really do. And then David said, "Let's go." Indeed. Let's go. Let's go. So, like I was saying, though, usually I read from the Let's Go page only on Saturdays, but I need to point out that the Durham Public School, this is on the, okay, so what I'm reading from is on the Word page, that's the government and nonprofit information page, and then also on the school tools page. So it's free meals for children and teens. So we want to make sure that the little ones don't go hungry during the summertime. Just because school's out, that doesn't mean they should go hungry. So kids who have a hard time finding food to eat can find food thanks to the Durham Public Schools. Not all of the meals are being served in the schools. There are some community places, like houses of worship and whatnot, that are providing meals as well. So I do have a link and an explanation in English and in Spanish. So if you have neighbors who speak Spanish and you could tell they're struggling and that you could tell the kids are hungry, let them know, show them on the school tools page this paragraph in Spanish that explains that all they have to do is to click on the link, and then they can find a whole list of places where kids 18 and under can get free breakfasts and free lunches on site right there in the community. So I just wanted to point that out because I know some families are out there struggling. It's not easy to feed the kiddies if you don't have any money. There you go. And of course, there's food pantries, but hopefully they know about that as well. I do try to list as much information as possible in the Durham Skywriter. All righty. And now let's go to the Let's Go page, as Dave's pointing out. Let's go. That's the calendar of events page. Let's see what's going on this weekend. And I hope you had a good 4th yesterday. I had so much fun yesterday. As you probably know, if you're a regular viewer of the show, I'm also DJ Pitty Pat. And every year, I think I've been doing it for at least, I don't know, 10, 15 years. I've been playing for the Children's Independence Day parade in Durham Central Park. So much fun. The scrap exchange was there, and the kids decorated their bikes and their wagons and tricycles and strollers. And then I played the march music, John Philip Sousa music, and they marched across the park and across the bridge and back, got free popsicles. It was wonderful. And then I stuck around because a Glass Jug, the downtown Glass Jug, they had a fundraiser where they were taking donations and then giving people, hot dogs and fruit and whatnot. And that was for Durham Central Park. So, of course, I stuck around and played for that as well. So, big shout out to Glass Jug, big shout out to Durham Central Park. Had a great time. And now let's find out what's happening. Oh, and as far as the fireworks, I know you heard, oh, wait, Old School Dave was saying free food is good. It is good. Yes, I can attest to that. It's always good to have access to free food when you can't afford it. Yes, sir. Not ashamed to say that. Okay, now as far as the fireworks, sound like it was right in my front yard. Oh my goodness. I don't know where people buy fireworks. I've never seen a fireworks store. But boy, people got their hands on the fireworks in my neighborhood for sure. And I'm sure for those of of you who watched the official fireworks show at the ballpark, I know that was probably super fun. All right, now let's see what's going on today. Let me scroll down to July 5th. Here we are. So, what is going on today? Let's see, you have a half hour. If you happen to be in the neighborhood, oh, wait a minute. Yeah, half hour. So, if you happen to be living in South Durham and you can zip over there and you happen to love cars, July Cars and Coffee. This happens every first Saturday from 8 until 11 at Road Scholars. 50, and if you know, you know, as far as that pun, love that. Road Scholars, 5425 Page Road. So they do have a specialty. They customize Porsche. So if you like that, yeah, definitely head over there. But they usually feature a different kind of car as well. So today's feature will be Corvettes. And I do remember Corvette Stingrays. I assume they still make them. I don't know. But I do remember seeing a couple in the neighborhood when I was a kid. So yeah, Corvettes. Indeed. So that's until 11. So if you want to zip over there real quick and check, you know, how they raise the hoods and they ooh and ah over the engines and the motors and the carburetors and all that stuff. Yeah, you can definitely do that until 11 o'clock. Now, the Durham Farmers Market, they're on until noon in Durham Central Park, 501 Foster Street. Um, Also, the South Durham Farmers Market, they're also operating until noon. They're at the Hub RTP, 500 Park Offices Drive, off of Highway 54. And as far as both farmers markets are concerned, if you use SNAP, EBT, don't shop until you stop at the manager's table because you can double your money up to $10. They want to make sure that all of us have access to fresh food, especially for those who have little ones. So they're both open until noon. Just want to point that out. And I think the Durham Center for Senior Life, I think they announced who won the vouchers. I'm pretty sure. So if you got a voucher, a packet of vouchers, if it was like it was last year, you got a bunch of $5 vouchers, and I think you can double your money too, if I'm not mistaken. I'll have to call the managers at both markets and see if it's the way it was last year, where you can double your money again. All righty. Now, the Durham Craft Market, they share Durham Central Park with the Farmers Market, and they are also open until noon. You can go there, meet some great artists, see some beautiful art, make a purchase or two, or just enjoy being outdoors, looking at beautiful artwork, and maybe making new friends. Okay, let's see. Now, people look forward to this. I remember when um, Eno Fest, also known as Festival for the Eno, I remember they had to get really creative during COVID, and they actually had the festival, I think, inside, uh, without an audience at the Carolina Theater, which I thought was brilliant. They're back, of course, outside at West Point on the Eno Park. This is the Wait a minute. This is the second and final day of Festival of the Eno. Of course, the first day was yesterday. So today is the final day. And they start at 10 o'clock. Ooh, they already started. And so this will last until 6. So if you haven't gotten over there, got plenty of time to hop over there. So they're going to have, of course, 40 or so musical acts on 4 stages. I mean, it's a huge event. It's gigantic. They have all these food trucks. They have all these vendors out there, crafts, arts and crafts, food, whatever. It's like I said, it's gigantic. So, with it being the last day, if you don't have your two-day ticket from yesterday and you just want to buy a ticket for today, it's 35 and it's 10 for young people ages 5 to 17, which means, of course, it's free if your child is 4 and younger. So you can click for tickets and also to see the entire schedule and the whole layout because it's so big that they have to print out a map to show you everything. Now, one thing about parking, I need to tell you, do not park across the street at the mall because they're very watchful and they will tow your vehicle. So do not park across the street. Instead, go about, what is it, a mile north and park at the stadium, the Durham County Stadium. There's plenty of parking there. And of course, they have people there helping out to line the cars up. So there's plenty of parking. So park at the stadium. You do not have to walk a mile back. They have a free shuttle. Just hop on the shuttle and it'll zip you right back to West Point on the Eno Park. So definitely park at the stadium if you don't want your car towed. And they also have, I forgot to point out, they do have a spot if you want to drop off your friend, neighbor, or loved one with a disability. They do have a drop off point for you to do that, and then you can zip over and park, at the stadium, so you don't have to worry about that. Okay, let's see. Now, there's going to be a DJ at Boxyard RTP, usually on Saturdays. They have a DJ there from 11:30 until 2:30. Now, Boxyard RTP, to explain, it's an outdoor venue. They have a gigantic fan overhead, so you should be nice and comfortable. They're at 900 Park Offices Drive off of Highway 54. There's like a bunch of tables. You're sitting there. You're maybe enjoying a book or your iPad or whatever, sitting under a fan, listening to some great music. Now, the DJ today will be DJ Al Ski Love. That is one of the coolest names I've ever heard in my life. So, DJ Al Ski Love will be playing house, funk, old school hip hop, 80s dance music, and Motown. You can't go wrong with any of those. So that's again from 11:30 until 2:30. Totally free, but you will be surrounded by restaurants. So if you do get hungry, no worries. You can always buy something to eat or drink at one of the lovely restaurants right there on location. Now there's another farmers market. I don't know if you know if there's a North Durham farmers market, and that's held at the Soul Sanctuary at 1016 Old Oxford Road. So you can turn off of North Roxborough Road and hit Old Oxford Road. So that is going to be from noon until 4. You can buy fresh produce there as well. So you can hit all three markets in one day if you like. But as far as the North Durham Farmers Market, they have the same SNAP EBT deal where you can double your money up to $10. All right. Now, here's a special event. The Maker Society, they're hosting Durham Nights, the Durham Twilight Market on the Golden Belt campus. That's going to be today, 5:30 until 9:30. This is where local vendors will be there. They're going to have a DJ, live performances. So that should be lots of fun under the stars. And the Tobacco Road Tours, they're hosting the Durham Dark and Mysterious Ghost Tour. They start at Major the Bull and CCB Plaza downtown. So it's a family friendly 1.5 mile walking tour. You get to hear, I guess, about ghost stories, ghost sightings in downtown Durham. Now, they don't want anyone there younger than 8 years old because I think maybe some of the stories are intense. The tickets are 20 and 16 for young people from 8 to 14. That's another deterrent for bringing little ones. The cost is costing. Now, tomorrow, they're going to have Sunday morning meditation at the Shambhala Center of Durham, 733 Rutherford Street, from 9 until noon. This is a drop in event, so you can learn how to meditate. A lot of us always wanted to know what that's all about, so you can learn. This is a free event. The Shambhala Center is right off of 9th Street. The shopping district is like right there off of Hillsborough Road. So it's a 3-hour event. Drop in. You can learn sitting meditation. And then there's something called walking meditation, which I was unaware of. So you can learn that too. Now, if you simply can't go because you don't have a car, it's Sunday, the trucks, the buses are not as, they don't run as often as they do during the week. So that might be frustrating trying to get somewhere on a Sunday. So you can attend via Zoom. You can definitely do that. And I have got the link for you right there on the Let's Go page. Couple more things happening tomorrow. The Black Market NC, they're hosting the Black Farmers Market in the Durham Technical Community College campus, 1637 East Lawson Street. That's going to be tomorrow from 1 until 4. You can buy fresh produce there as well. Now, I don't know if they have the same EBT SNAP deal, though. I didn't see that on the write up. So what I need to do is to find out, because that would be nice if the Black Farmers Market could afford to, help us save money as well. So I'll find out and I'll get back to you for the next Black Farmers Market. Okay, now don't waste Durham. They're still doing the boomerang bag sewing party, and this is where volunteers get together at So Crafty downtown. So Crafty, another pun. 101 Orange Street. It's on the corner of Parish and Orange Streets. So basically, don't waste Durham. They make bags. They use donated material. So if you have material to donate, they'd love it. And then volunteers show up for 1 hour at a time. You're not there from 1 until 4, usually from 1 until 2, and then another set of volunteers from 2 until 3, and so on. So they make boomerang bags. Boomerang bags is an Australian concept where instead of using one use only plastic bags, which get thrown away and fill up in landfills, they make cloth bags. Scopy is here. He's making his. I love how he announces himself. Scopy is here, indeed. Hello, Scopy. Happy to have you here. So they make these cloth bags so that when you shop, use a real bag, and then you can choose to keep it and just use it as your shopping bag, or you can take it back to the store of origin. Now, um, confoundingly, um, not all the stores in Durham allow boomerang bags. I guess they're just used to the plastic bags. We're all used to the plastic bags, but it is kind of a nice idea to use a bag over and over so you can be less wasteful. Now, when I was a kid, when my grandmother brought out her big straw bags from Mexico, I knew she was going shopping. She had these big, colorful bags, and so we knew it's shopping day. So yeah, so this is not actually not. It's not a new idea. It's actually probably an old idea, which is making a comeback. See, Scopy saying I use my boomerang bags every day. It's a great concept. I'll show you my boomerang bag, and it kind of reminds me of my grandmother because of the bright colors, especially when I go to the farmers market. I actually have two of these. And some people think that these are Barbie, but I don't. I didn't see the Barbie movie. Did she use bags like these? I don't know. It's like silicone rubber. I love these bags. I got them from Timu, and so I have an orange bag and a pink bag. All depends on what I'm wearing and how I'm feeling as far as which bag to use. But they're great for farmers markets because see they have the holes in them. So yeah, I think you can get these bags on Amazon too. And the cloth bags, they're great too. I like the silicone bags because you can rinse them out. You can rinse them. Or of course you can wash a cloth bag and throw them in the laundry. Anyway, it's all great. It is all great. Thank you for that, Scopy. Absolutely. And David's saying reusable bags not allowed. I'm guessing that some stores are probably worried about germs. And I can understand that, especially if you're buying like maybe food items. But of course, soap and water has been around for a while. But I understand. I understand, and I have a feeling that when people return bags, they probably don't throw them in the laundry first. I'm just guessing. I don't know. I would guess a lot of people don't think ahead like that. But I think it would be a nice idea if you do get a bag from, because I would hope that the bag you're getting from the store is already clean. That's something to think about, isn't it? Yeah. As we continue, okay, so Emerald. So that was the boomerang bag sewing party. Oh, so anyway, getting finishing up. So don't waste Durham. Once the bags are made, they deliver them to the stores that allow them because they do have like contracts, whatever, with certain stores, and they drop off the bags. I know one of the stores is the Red and White on Club Boulevard in North Roxborough, next to Omi's, the new coffee shop that has the community fridge right there. Yeah, the Red and White. I know they're under contract with if that's the right word, with Don't Waste Durham. So anyway, they get these bags. to the stores that allow them. And I do hope that eventually more and more stores will allow this because it's a great concept where, volunteers are helping out. You're getting use out of your the materials that you no longer need and donate. So yeah, Scopy knows it. Oh my goodness. Okay. So let's see. So don't waste germ. They do the pickup, wash, and return. Thank you, Scopy. You are see okay. Love that. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So they wash them out. Okay. So I would think when you drop off the bag when you're done, they wash it before they return it to the store. And I like that. I really appreciate that too. It's a great service. It really is. So knowing that, I do hope that more and more stores take them up on their offer because again, plastic bags are, they're fine. I mean, I have a whole collection of plastic bags over my sink and I use them for trash and for this and that. So it's great to have plastic bags when you need them. But still, when you go shopping, you shouldn't have to always use plastic bags. It would be nice to have a choice. Continuing. Emerald Doulas. Now, this is tomorrow. I'm mentioning these are tomorrow events. So, Emerald Doulas, they're hosting the new dads meeting at the Triangle Coffee House, 3109 Shannon Road, Building 3, Suite 101 to be precise. And that will be tomorrow at 3 o'clock. So, local fathers plus soon to be dads and anyone identifying as a dad, they're all invited to join this peer to peer support group as they learn how to navigate fatherhood together. And they do welcome literally all types of dads in a non judgmental situation. That's how they roll at Emerald Doulas. So if you feel shy because you don't fit the stereotypical whatever, don't worry about it. You are welcomed by Emerald Doulas because they're hip like that. So it's going to be tomorrow at 3. Now, if you feel like dancing tomorrow, the Triangle Dance Studio, they're going to be hosting their Sunday Salsa Social. And that's at the, let's see, 2603 South Miami Boulevard, next door to the Research Triangle Dental. I guess it's not that easy to find. That's going to be from 6:30 until 9:30. You can dance to salsa, bachata, cha-cha, kizomba, merengue, and cumbia. How about that? So the dance lesson starts at 6:30 because they don't assume you know how to dance all of those dances. So they'll teach you and then they'll let you go for open dancing, have a good time. Admission is 9, 7 for active military and students with current ID, and free for young people age 16 and younger. So I feel like we really got a nice start to the weekend with yesterday being a holiday. I love long weekends. It's just so relaxing. So let's check the weather. Oh, wait a minute. Let me do my intro. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Here we go. All right. Okay. It is only 80 degrees right now, and I don't mind it at all. It was a little warm out there yesterday. So, yes, 80 degrees. It's going up to 87. Not bad at all. And I think, is it going to be sunny all day? Oh, it's not going to be sunny all day? Okay, wait a minute. So it's 10:40. So it's going to be sunny until 1-ish. And then it looks like it's going to be we're going to have a cloudy afternoon, folks. Wow. Wow. So let's enjoy the sun right now while we can. So it's going to be cloudy the rest of the day, starting around 1 with a high of 87. So the heat will be less intense. So that's good. And then tomorrow, so it's a high of 81, which is nice reprieve, but there's a 90% chance of rain tomorrow. So I think we're going to get wet tomorrow. Looking ahead to next week. Oh my goodness, what's going on? Thunderstorm every day, even next week. Of course, these forecasts, they're not written in stone, and I've seen them change from hour to hour. But for right now, it looks like we're going to have a thunderstorm every single day next week with highs in the upper 80s and one day, Tuesday, 93, but for the rest of the week, 86 and 87, except for tomorrow, which the high will be 81. Wow, next week is going to be wild and wet. Okay, and with that, what I suggest, if you plan to do some shopping, do it today. And Dave is saying, I do have to admit that I love your shirt, buddy. Did you get slimed? Oh my God, Nickelodeon. Oh, there's a story behind this. I didn't get slimed, but back in the day, I don't know when they stopped, but Nickelodeon used to have Big Help Day, and they would go all around the country showing different neighborhood helping projects that the kids would do, and then they would go to the different cities and show, here's what they're doing in Tuscaloosa, and this is, hey, look at what they're doing in San Bernardino. They're feeding the hungry, they're doing this, and they're so they came to Chicago. um, I grew up in Chicago. Before I moved here, I had a newspaper called the South Side Scoop, and they came to Woodlawn, my community, my low income community, and there was a neighborhood project at what was back then the Harris YWCA on 62nd and Drexel. I think it's I don't it's something else now. I don't know what it is. It's like a community center or something. Anyway, so they had the Big Help in Woodlawn, and so I was publishing the local paper, so I got to cover it. They gave us T-shirts, so I love this T-shirt because it was one of the most exciting events. Just to have my little neighborhood, which was always called a slum or ghetto in the news, to be recognized by Nickelodeon, and to have the all the fanfare, because they had some Nickelodeon stars. I think some. Let's see who was there. Some of the Nickelodeon stars were there. I can't remember who was. I think someone from S Club was there. Um, if you know, you know. Anyway, it was just exciting. It was a very, very exhilarating day. I'll always remember it. So when I wear this T-shirt, I just remember that fun day when Nickelodeon came to Woodlawn. I mean, if you grew up or lived in a low income area, you know what it's like to be recognized. It usually doesn't happen. I mean, recognized for good reasons, for nice reasons. Yeah, it's so rarely happened. And in fact, that's one reason why I went into the media, because my neighborhood was always being maligned, and I wanted to point out all the cool things happening in Woodlawn. So my newspaper started out as the Woodlawn Scoop, then became the Woodlawn Inglewood Scoop. Inglewood was another low income area across the highway from us, where my both my parents worked in Inglewood for a time. And then it expanded to 13 neighborhoods, became the South Side Scoop. So yeah. So if you know, you know. And to see, so cool, a shirt with a story is the best kind. You know it. And this does have a very, very happy story behind it. Thank you, Dave, for even noticing. I wasn't even going to mention it. I just put it on with a big smile today. And I'm glad you pointed it out. And I got to tell the little story about our adventure on the south side of Chicago. Speaking of the south side of Chicago, be sure, where's my iPad? Be sure, let me go to the cover story page. If you have kids, or if you have kids in the neighborhood who don't know how to play, a lot of kids don't know these old school games. Every summer, I run this article, cover story, the Durham Sky Writer, playing old school street games. These are the games that I grew up playing. Some kids know these games because when I spoke at the Freedom School summer camp program and I asked them if they knew these games, some of the kids knew these games. And these games are Simon Says, Hide and Seek, Mother May I, Red Rover, Red Light, Freeze Tag. These games are so fun. So if your kids are running around, um, just in and out of the sprinkler, and they don't know any games or whatever, teach them these games, because they will share these games and they will play them. And there's nothing like the sound of kids shouting, shrieking, and having a good time. To me, that's the happy sound. That's a very, very happy sound. And with that, we went over the weather. I think that is it for today. I do hope that you have a beautiful weekend. Like I said, you might want to rush over to the farmers market. If you can't make the Durham Farmers Market, the South Durham Farmers Market by noon, there's a North Durham Farmers Market from noon until 4. So enjoy the nice weather we're having today, because it looks like we're going to be challenged for the rest of the week with thunderstorms every single day. That is crazy. And with that, oh, let me set up my outro. It is set up. Thank you, Dave. Great stream, buddy. Stay. Wait, gotta wear my specs. Stay dry out there, indeed. Oh, another suggestion. Uh, if you're like me, you don't have air conditioning, get a of course, box fan, ceiling fan always helps. Dehumidifier works wonders, because the less humidity, the less discomfort. And with that, you have a beautiful weekend, and I'll see you Monday at noon for Bull City Hangout. And be sure to read the Durham Skywriter. Be sure to read the how-to page, because you can learn the difference between heat stroke and heat exhaustion and what to do about both. And with that, ciao for now.